Yeah, let's just talk about what's happened in the NFL in the last 48 hours. Black Monday spilled into Tuesday, went to Wednesday, and now it's happened again. We'll start with the Raiders. They fired Antonio Pierce. Today, they just fired the general manager, Tom Telesco, which was a shocker to me. Telesco, I was told, did not take part in the staff meeting to make the final decision on Antonio Pierce. Tom Brady did. Tom Brady is carrying clout in the decisions that are being made. Where the Raiders going to go to, it's going to be very interesting to see. They've asked for permission. They will interview Pete Carroll, who I think would be ideal. They're going to interview Mike Vrabel, the veteran linebacker. They will interview Brian Flores, the former Miami head coach. Obviously, everybody wants to talk to Ben Johnson of Detroit, but I think the big issue with the Raiders is just the reality. They don't have a quarterback, and they don't have a running back, and they're not going to be drafting high in the first round to be able to fill either one of those holes. So that's a big issue as to, quote, how good the Raider job is. The Pierce situation, he tried hard. He talked a good game, didn't coach a good game. 4-13 is miserable. 10-game losing streak is miserable. The decisions they made on who the quarterback's miserable. Plus the track record of being terrible. 2 winning seasons in 22 years. I just don't know how good a job the Raider job is. The best job in the league might be in Chicago. Chicago asked for permission to talk to Mike McCarthy. They're putting pressure on Jerry Jones. If you're not going to give him a contract extension, we're going to interview him. Jerry Jones denied him permission to talk. But Jerry Jones has only between now and next Tuesday to get him signed. If they don't, Mike McCarthy becomes a free agent. I think he becomes a hot candidate for the Chicago Bears job. But they're talking to everybody too. I mean, the Bears have already talked to Vrabel yesterday. Today, they're talking to Pete Carroll. They're going to talk to, obviously, all the hot candidates who are offensive coordinators led by Ben Johnson. They're also supposedly today interviewing Matt Campbell from Iowa State. So I think the Bears, it's a marquee job. As bad as the season was, as rotten as the stats were, you got Caleb Williams going in the front door as your quarterback. So keep that in mind. Jacksonville, they got Trevor Lawrence, or a bunch of people second-guessing whether Trevor Lawrence is really a star in the NFL at quarterback. He was hurt. He had 2 surgeries this year. They're going after bright light coordinators. They're going to talk to Cliff Kingsbury, who wants back in as a head coach. They, like everybody else, wants to talk to Ben Johnson, Detroit. They're going to talk to Liam Cohen from Tampa Bay. Keep that in mind. New York Jets, they're interviewing everybody. Latest, they got permission to interview Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for Andy Reid in Kansas City. Vrabel, Flores is on that list. The big issue, do they have to change the culture of Jet football vis-a-vis Aaron Rodgers? It won't be Aaron Rodgers' team. It'll be whoever the new head coach is. So the Jets are in the running. New England, interesting story just broke in the early morning hours today that there may be a package deal already in place where Vrabel would bring Josh McDaniels with him as offensive coordinator if he went to New England. Why is that important? Because they already got the quarterback in place in Drake May. Now, they obviously got to fill out that roster. They're interviewing a whole bunch of other people, but Vrabel, if he wants it, because he played there and was held in high regard, Vrabel and Josh McDaniels might be a team coming in the front door in Foxborough. In New Orleans, it's weird. That's a team with an aging quarterback in Derek Carr who is hurt. It's a team that's got injury problems. The team's got bad salary cap problems. They're interviewing different guys, real different guys. They're interviewing Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. They're interviewing Bob Slowick, the offensive coordinator in Houston. They're going to interview Kellen Moore, who's now the quarterback coach, Philadelphia Eagles, former coordinator with the Chargers. So they're like at a different level trying to find a marquee name, and they're not getting, quote, marquee names that they're going to interview. So, John, your reaction to what becomes of the Raiders, do you agree or disagree that maybe the Caleb Williams situation might be the best job to go to, or maybe Drake May in New England? What do you think about the coaching carousel?
Well, Tom Brady's having a huge impact with the Raiders. And, I know you like Tom Telesco.
Yes.
You think he's a good man. He does a lot of good work. But you even said that he doesn't trade draft picks. He doesn't take risks.
Not bold.
But the Raiders need to take risks, because they're in the tank. They've been in the tank for so long. So to me, this is refreshing. I mean, bummer for Tom Telesco losing the job, but I like this idea. Now, the problem is Tom Brady another shiny object for the Raiders? I mean, what do you think?
Well, there's no doubt that he's got experience and expertise, and he knows a lot of people. There was a rumor at midweek that Brady called Belichick down at Chapel Hill and said, would you consider this? Would you consider coming to work with the Raiders? And at that point, Belichick listened, didn't respond. Belichick has a $10 million buyout. If he he changed his mind and wanted to leave North Carolina now, it cost him $10 million. The proposal I was told was that the Raiders would pay $5 million and Belichick would pay $5 million out of his own checking account to get the release to go to Vegas. They thought about it, and within hours, I think Belichick got back to him and said, no, I'm staying. Belichick's already got 13 commitments in the transfer portal, so he's not going to turn his back on the kids. But Brady's he's got clout. Brady is close to Vrabel. But then again, we spin back. Is that a really good job? Is Vrabel better to go to Chicago with Caleb Williams or better to go back to New England with Kraft, even though Brady might be his entree to go to Vegas? So Brady's got influence. There's no doubt about it that Mark Davis is leaning on Tom Brady right now.
Wouldn't it be weird? I mean, we thought it was weird that Belichick went to North Carolina.
Yep.
And then imagine if he did a switcheroo right here, leave the Tar Heels like in the dust. That would just be awful if that happened. But, you look at these other teams. I agree with you. The Bears, that's a sweet job because it's not just Caleb Williams. They got, Rome Odunze and then the wide receiver that was with the Chargers forever.
Keenan Allen, the other kid from Carolina, DJ Moore. I mean, there's firepower there. You just need to be able to coach the kid quarterback and fix the offensive line. And I don't know what's wrong with their defense. They had injuries, I know that. But, I mean, there's work to be done. But you got the quarterback in place.
Yeah, you do. And you had mentioned there was like someone from Ohio State that was interviewing for that job. Was it on your notes there? Was it Ohio State?
You're talking about the Bears?
Was it the Bears job? I think it was.
No, I'm not.
No?
I got so many names here.
You
No, it was Iowa State, Matt Campbell.
That's the one. Okay.
Yes.
It was Iowa State.
But he just signed an 8-year extension. Why would he turn his back there except it is the NFL?
Okay.
And he's turned down other job offers in years prior.
Now, do you think there's any chance that Rex Ryan would get rehired by the Jets?
No.
Yeah.
It's just been there, done that, heard all that crap. No,
Right,
not
exactly.
at all. And he's the one that said, if I'm coach, I'm coming in and we're closing down Aaron Rodgers Country Club. And great. Did you win when you had the Jets job? No. Did you win when you had the Bills job? No. Why am I bringing you back off TV? No.
Yeah.
He talks a good game.
Yeah, he does. That's why he's on TV.
Yeah, that's right. So all things head coaching, NFL, feel free to jump on board. Which is the best job in the NFL? Fans Forum chat box is open.